Hey guys, how you doing? It's Tony here with the Kaladesh Express, and today I want to look at a new commander that's getting released with the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. That's Huatli, Poet of Unity. I think this commander is very, very cool. I'm very excited about this one. It's a dinosaur commander that actually feels like a dinosaur commander, unlike every other dinosaur commander we've had. It felt kind of like, a dinosaur who happens to be legendary. You can play as your commander. I'm talking about dinosaurs such as Gishath and Sakama. Gishath, Sun's Avatar, if you don't know, it's a super popular dinosaur commander. It's 5, a red, a green, and a white. It's a legendary creature, dinosaur avatar. It has trample, vigilance, haste. Whenever Gishath, Sun's Avatar deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards on top of your library. Put any number of dinosaur creatures from among them onto the battlefield and the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. Seems really, really good. And I think that as a solid dinosaur commander, it does the thing. The problem is it's really expensive. And Sakama, Primal Calamity, is a really good dinosaur commander once again. Or it's a really good commander. I wouldn't say it's a really good dinosaur commander, because when you play Sakama, you're kind of just doing Sakama things. Let me go ahead and read it for you. Sakama, Primal Calamity, is 6, a red, a green, and a white, so 1 more than Gishath. It's a legendary creature, Elder Dinosaur, with Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. When Sakama Primal Calamity enters the battlefield, if you cast it, untap all lands you control. Then, for 2 and a red, Sakama deals 3 damage to target creature. For 2 and a green, destroy target artifact or enchantment. And for 2 and a white, you gain 3 life. Sakama is really good, but Sakama is a card that just kind of plays itself. You're playing into playing as Sakama, you're not playing into playing dinosaurs specifically. But I do think we finally have a commander where both these two creatures really mesh together and can be in the same deck comfortably. I mean, you could always play in one or the other in either one, and I think you still would. They're still really good cards, but they didn't feel cohesive before because we haven't had a commander that really felt like it brought everything together. So our new commander, Huatli, Poet of Unity, feels much more like a traditional commander to me, anyway. Huatli, Poet of Unity, is 2 and a green for a legendary creature, Human, Warrior, Bard. When Huatli, Poet of Unity, enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So we'll stop right here. The reason I like this ability is that it's doing the thing that dinosaurs or big creature decks want to do anyway. They want to get you more mana so you can cast your big things. And land ramp, even though this isn't really ramp, this is just fixing more than anything else, but still getting lands and getting them on the board is important, especially because lands are much less fragile in the game of Commander than mana rocks or mana dorks. Then for 3, red or white, and red or white, exile Huatli, then return to the battlefield transformed under her owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery. It's pretty good. It's just if she gets stolen, you get her back, but otherwise, she becomes War of the Fifth People. It's a saga with 4 chapters. Chapter 1 is create 2 3/3 dinosaur creature tokens, so that's pretty good. Put some bodies on board. Chapter 2 is Reward the Fifth People, gains creatures you control, have tap, add a red, green, or white, so the colors you need, and it's more ramp, so realistically, you're going to activate this probably on turn 3 or 4. You'll get to flip her, you'll get the dinosaurs on turn 4, or turn 5. Turn 6, you're going to have at least 8 mana available, so right then and there you could cast your Sakama or your Gishath or what's not, or the big dinosaur. Chapter 3, search your library for a dinosaur card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. So right then and there, you're setting yourself up to ready to drop your Sakama or your Gishath if you didn't already have it in hand. And then chapter 4 is dinosaurs you control get double strike and tramples on a turn. It's just a finisher. Your commander's all in one. It ramps you, it puts bodies on the board, it finds your big finisher, and it makes your big finisher finish better. I think this is one of the best commanders we've seen in a while as far as typo commanders. I really can't think of anything else close. And on its face, it doesn't seem that impressive, right? It's not Sakama, which just is on its face is super impressive. You get to untap all your lands and deal damage here and destroy this artifact. It's not super impressive like that. It's not Gishath, where it's just reveal cards and put all the dinosaurs out. Yeah, that's really powerful, but a creature that tutors those creatures to your hand but can get them both. It's like you're really playing 4 different commanders, 5 different commanders at once, because you get Gishath, you get Sakama. It's like you get to play all the cool dinosaur commanders in one. And you can kind of do that with Gishath, but again, you're not playing your commander until turn 6, turn 5 at the earliest with Gishath, because you got to ramp out. Same thing as the combo. You're not playing that until turn 6 at the earliest because you got to ramp out to it. But with Huatli, it's all right there waiting for you. It feels like a very consistent and powerful commander. It also doesn't feel like it's going to give you the exact same game plan every time. Like, true, you could tutor the exact same dinosaur to your hand every time, but now it gets to be kind of toolbox. You get to find the exact dinosaur you need, so you get to play more utility dinosaurs. And with that, I want to kind of go into like a little bit of a preliminary list I got for. I built this on Moxfield maybe like an hour ago. This isn't going to be a finalized list, but I think generally this kind of gives you an idea of what a Huatli deck could look like. Very probably similar to a Zakama or Gishath deck, but more focused on having more utility. So before I get into the individual cards of note, I'm going to say in this list currently, and again, these numbers are going to be a little high, a little low. We'll adjust them over time. I'll definitely be making a full deck list for this commander as soon as she releases, but I want to see what else comes in the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, so I don't want to get too invested at the moment. Just going to pick up staples for the future, but at the moment, we have 18 pieces of ramp, 6 pieces of removal, 5 pieces of protection, and 4 card draw, which feels really low, but I do feel like there will be better options in the Lost Caverns. This feels like a very dinosaur-centric set, like every Ixalan set has been, and I'm not too worried. Currently, I have 26 lands. There will be 11 more. They're going to be basics. They're going to lean green and red heavy, but after the lands, let's look at some creatures. So some obvious ones that you might think about, Delighted Halfling, Carnage Tyrants, your Topiary Stompers, but here's some other things to think about. The Kinjali's Collar and the Priest of the Waking Sun. These cards are really interesting. So Kinjali's Collar is very simple. Dinosaur spells cost you 1 less to cast, which is pretty good. Priest of the Waking Sun's a little less simple, but I think just as relevant. Being able to keep your revealed dinosaur hand, if you do, gain 2 life. Not what's important here. 3 and 2 white. Sacrifice Priest of the Waking Sun, search your library for a dinosaur card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle. It's another dinosaur tutor, which we can use later to just get out with Huatli after she's made us all the mana. Some other very interesting ones that I'm thinking about putting into this deck. Obviously, we got Knight of the Stampede. Again, it's just dinosaur typal help. Trapjaw Tyrant, a card I completely forgot about myself. Whenever it's dealt damage, exile target creature and opponent controls until Trapjaw Tyrant leaves the battlefield. This is very political. You can talk with your opponents like, hey, I'm going to attack you. You block with your destructible thing, or you block this, and then it'll get damage dealt to it. And then I get to eat this other guy's thing that's being a problem over here. Here's another card that a lot of people forget about, which is one of my favorite cards, kind of a pet card for me. Kogla and Yodaro. Kogla and Yodaro. It's 2 red, and 2 green. Legendary creature, ape, dinosaur, turtle. Has just all the creature types. Kogla and Yodaro enters the battlefield, choose 1. It gains trample and haste on the turn, which is pretty good. It fights another target creature you don't control, which is very good. It's creature removal. Most of the time, most things aren't standing up to a 7/7. And then for 2, a red and a green, discard Kogla and Yodaro, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment, shuffle Kogla and Yodaro into your library from your graveyard, and then draw a card. So it's cycling plus. It's reusable, enchantment, and artifact destruction. Tutorable again with Huatli or Priest of the Waking Sun. The Tarask is a card a lot of people forget about, is a dinosaur, but it is, and it has haste and ward 10 for as long as it was cast. So it's going to be really hard to get rid of. And whenever it attacks, it automatically fights something, so it's more creature removal. Again, most things aren't standing up to a 10/10 even, you know? And then we have Golza, which is going to probably cost 2 most of the time we have it, because we'll always have a big dinosaur out. We should always have a big dinosaur out. Especially when we're playing as much ramps as we're playing. We are playing like 18 pieces, which, again, does feel like a lot, but maybe it isn't. Other than that, we're looking at some more flavorful cards. So Star of Extinction is our board wipe for this deck, or is my tentative board wipe for this deck. I don't think the card's fantastic, and I don't pretend it is, but I think it's too flavorful not to run. Plus, it destroys a land, and I know people love land destruction in Commander, so that's pretty fantastic right there. So I'm running some more expensive cards in the deck that maybe you wouldn't run personally. I'm running a Sylvan Library, Smothering Tide. I just happen to own these cards. I don't think they're absolutely necessary for the deck, especially Sylvan Library. Smothering Tide feels a little more necessary because it is ramp yet again, and we are playing big creatures, but Sylvan Library is kind of like a whatever. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. Same thing with some of our lands, like Ballin's Tomb or Ancient Tomb, if you're a lame. Or Beseiju. Like, these are like what, $60, $30 cards. You don't necessarily need to run them. They are just good utility lands. If you have them, run them. If you don't, you don't. Cavern of Souls is another one I mean, yeah, it's really good. It's a typal protection card, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't even be adding it to this list if it wasn't about to get reprinted and hopefully drops drastically. Like, granted, it is going to be a mythic, I believe. Mosswork Bridge is another one I wanted to remind you guys existed. It is Hideaway, and you can activate its Hideaway cost by just playing the dinosaurs you're going to play anyway, and then just cheat out another big dinosaur. To that end, the things I'm looking at are probably just more big dinosaurs in this deck. Like, I like the suite I have now. We have 12 dinosaurs that are 6 cost or greater, so making Mosswork Bridge feel a lot more relevant. Rogue's Passage is another one. Just don't forget it. You can sneak in some big damage that way with that card, and it's a card I see a lot of people forgetting about nowadays, but it's like really good. Some other cards, Vanquisher's Banner, just helps you get more cards. You're gonna need them. It shouldn't be that hard to cast. We are running a lot of ramp once again. Three Dynamo's on the cutting room floor. It's like it's on the edge of being just cut because I like the card, right? But I don't know if it's actually necessary. It's a lot of colorless mana, and we have a lot of pips to worry about. Then again, we do have a lot of big things with a lot of big colorless numbers here, so maybe not. We probably want to add a couple cards like Eternal Witness to the deck just to, you know, get back some of our dinosaurs. We already running Balagad Recovery for that, but we could probably do with a couple more. But yeah, this is not really a primer. This is just me like, wow, this card's cool, and I really want to talk about it. So I've done it. This is the deck. Generally, what I'm looking at right now, I'm going to start picking up singles myself, and I suggest you do too before the set comes out, because I'm sure a lot of these 35, 49, but a lot of these cheaper cards are going to jump up soon. So if you want some of these cards, I suggest picking them up now, because they are not going to get cheap in there now. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about Huatli, Poet of Unity. I'm really excited for this card. I'm super excited for Lost Caverns of Ixalan. I was really excited for Wilds of Eldraine, but no, this is gonna be my set, man. I didn't even know I wanted dinosaurs so bad until I saw Huatli, and I'm absolutely gonna be building this deck. So stay tuned for a proper deck tech. I just wanted to kind of throw some ideas out there now. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate you.